Welcome, dear Thriver, to Thriver TV for real healing from narcissistic abuse. Over the 10 plus years of helping thousands of people heal worldwide, I've heard from hundreds of people who've tried or considered couples counselling with a narcissist. And I've tried it myself. In this video, I'm going to share exactly what you can expect to happen if you try couples counselling, such as how the narcissist behaves, how they manipulate counsellors, and whatever else you can expect. Now, this is what I know. By watching this video, it could save you an enormous amount of energy and pain. So let's have a look at how the narcissist may behave before the actual counselling sessions, because this is really important. And you may have experienced what I and so many others have, is that the narcissist gets remorseful, or they say they're sorry, or they're saying that they want help. And this is usually when you've had enough, you're getting strong, you're about to leave, or maybe you've already left. And they tell you that they're all for counselling. And you may think, booyah, this is really awesome because this is what I wanted. Or, you know, you've been pushing it, you've been saying, we really need to do this. And then all of a sudden they're like, yes, okay, I know I've got problems. I want to get help. I'm going to go to counselling with you. Or maybe they even suggested it. So, you know, in normal circumstances with normal people, non-narcissistic people, you could feel hope. And I'm sure lots of you have been through this. But what happens when you do start the actual counselling? The support that you felt from them and also to the accountability becomes very short-lived. Because in the counselling sessions, this is what you start discovering. That the narcissist is no longer taking responsibility for their behaviour. And this is the thing with narcissists, you give it a poke with a stick with their accountability to see if they're going to, like normal people, sit in it and stand in it and be responsible for it. And the three-ring circus begins. Because they're going to start with the buts. You know, I'm sorry, but I do this because of you. There'll be a projection, there'll be a twist back. And what you'll start to find out is the focus is coming back on you. And yes, you're traumatized, you're broken, absolutely. But all of a sudden, it's changed from the narcissist saying, I know I've got problems and I treat you really badly and I want to get to the bottom of this and I want to fix our relationship. It starts coming back to the relationship is your fault. And you may really feel that the therapist doesn't get it and it's going down the wrong track and you're getting frustrated. And the narcissist is looking like the good guy or the good girl in the therapy session, in the counselling session, and you're the one that's getting distraught and irate and frustrated and triggered. Now, about this, I did a rant on Facebook. It was about a year ago, I think. And what it was about is a counsellor had come onto one of my posts and said there's way too many people that believe people are narcissists and they need to try harder in their relationships and a lot of it's their fault. And I kind of really came back on that very hard. And I did a video about it. And I'm going to do that rant again because this is what can happen in contemporary therapy. The narcissist is actively manipulating the counsellor. They're turning it back on you. The counsellor may not have had any personal experience with a narcissistic toxic person. They're missing the warning signs. What are the warning signs? That you are broken. That's the warning signs. And the things that you're saying, which are very, very stock standard for somebody who's been narcissistically abused, if a counsellor's never experienced narcissistic abuse and doesn't know it at a deep level, knowing it from a textbook is not enough because they're going to miss the mark. If they don't know it at a deep level, then they may say stuff to you like, you need to work harder on your relationship. You need to heal your stuff and your childhood wounds. And the thing is, and this is my rant that I said, I don't care what is your stuff in this. If you are with somebody who has had narcissistic tendencies, which is maliciousness, the ability to punish, it's a false self that will never take responsibility, who pathologically lies, and it is capable of horrific stuff, it doesn't matter what you're going to do with yourself and your wounds. You are never going to change this person, and you are never going to have a healthy relationship with somebody like that. Now, many counsellors don't get that. And I know there's lots of you out there in the healing professions who are wonderful people, and you do. I'm not directing this at you. You're amazing. But I want you to be very aware, if you are going to a counsellor in joint counselling with a narcissist, or even by yourself, and you have narcissistic abuse syndrome, and I talk about that so much in my stuff, go to my resources and put in, am I being narcissistically abused? So you get very, very clear about what you're dealing with. If they don't get it, you need to get away from that counsellor, because if they're telling you, and it happened to me, try harder, take responsibility. You know, it doesn't matter what you do with these people. It really doesn't. Okay, so if it ends up all about you and your issues, and you're the one that needs the help, because often the narcissist is charming the therapist, literally. This is only going to cement the narcissist's ability in being able to abuse you even more. Now, we can't completely blame the counsellor, and let me explain. Narcissists are very, very convincing. If you do get a good therapist who's actually going to confront the narcissist and try to hold them accountable, the narcissist will find a way to discredit the therapist, exit the scene, and will not come back to therapy. Because the thing is, with a narcissist, if their mask is taken down, well, then they're going to run. They have to get away. They're not going to stay there. It's too much of a narcissistic injury for their battered, desecrated true self. They can't, you know that with a narcissist. If they feel a slight, real or imagined, then they just don't deal with it at all. So confronted, they're gonna leave. They're not gonna continue anyway. So, and this is the thing, or let's say they do. You may say to me, but Melanie, I've had my narcissist be there and bear it all and be really honest about it, and that would mean that this narcissist is in deep narcissistic injury. When enough has gone wrong in their life that for a very small window and an amount of time, this person is going to be honest, they're going to front up, and they're going to be real. But as soon as they can get those defenses back up, then they're going to go back to business as usual, which is a narcissist. So the thing is, you've got to understand that you're either going to have the narcissistic personality in there whose one goal is to maintain the false self. And the false self is, I'm right, you're wrong, this is your fault, and I'm going to punish you for trying to leave me, hold me accountable, or tell me there's something wrong with me. So a therapist is a really good way for them to do that. Or if the mask gets pulled down, they are going to run, discredit the therapist, because they've got to avoid their inner traumas and dysfunctions. Now, you may think, because at the start when you had the hope, it was like, beautiful, this person loves me enough that they want to work on the relationship, but you have to realize that a narcissist's goal is not peace, harmony, healing, unity, and love. It's actually about narcissistic supply. So you're not going to get a solution either way. There's no solution to get there. And you may have hoped that therapy was going to save your sanity and your relationship. But what it's actually going to do, it's going to bring you more abuse and more trauma. And I want you to know with all of my heart, no therapist is going to validate what you've been through. And they're not going to hold the narcissist accountable. I know we all want somebody else there to save us. And the therapist is never going to do that. Actually, none of your friends can, none of your family can, nobody can. You know, this is our job that we have to do, is to heal and validate ourselves. And a narcissist with a therapist is simply going to use that person as another pawn against you. Because for therapy and counselling to work, there's got to be two humble, real people ready to meet their wounds and ready to work through them and ready to be supportive. You have to have conscious individuals on deck. I'm just going to tell it to you straight. I've never, in all of the thousands of people that I've worked with, and absolutely in my own life, I have never seen couples therapy work with a narcissist. Not one case of it. And I'm also going to say to you, I also honestly haven't seen private therapy work for severe trauma, which is what narcissistic abuse is, with just logical talk therapy. And the reasons for that is because the trauma is in our bodies, which I talk about a lot, and we have to do a deep inner work and processes on that trauma. And the cognitive part of our brain doesn't even reach the limbic, emotional, feeling, traumatic parts of you that have been damaged. You need something much deeper. And myself and so many others tried to no avail to be able to get the work done and the healing and the relief and the power in our souls back by doing the logical talk therapy. But it wasn't until doing the deep inner work in our bodies that we were able to reclaim our souls, our lives, and absolutely our minds and the directions that we wanted to move into abuse-free, thriving lives. And humbly and proudly, I have seen people receive incredible results with my NARP program over the last 12 years that they just weren't able to get from regular talk therapy, despite trying for years and even decades, which is what I did too. So I hope that this has helped clarify things for you, and I know that you may be in the shocking frustration of trying joint therapy and really wanting it to work. And what I would love to do is introduce you to another way where you can detach, stop trying to hold the narcissist accountable, which only gets you abused, and come home to yourself, to a system to heal which bypasses all of the confusion, the pain, and the years and years of trying to work out your relationship and work on yourself. You know, something that will give you the confidence, strength, and power to release narcissists, narcissistic abuse, and painful relationship patterns. So, if you are ready to get out of the insanity, then I can't recommend my Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program, which is known as NARP and NUF. And the details are in the description of this video, or just click the link above. Or if you want to find out more about that and experience my healing system, you are more than welcome to come into my free webinar, my 3 Keys workshop. And that's also listed in the description, or you can click the link that's coming up now. And that's going to show you, and you will experience clarity and real relief very quickly. So, all right, I hope today has really helped you realize therapy with a narcissist quite literally doesn't work, and why it doesn't work. And I'm so looking forward to your comments and your questions below. Okay, until the next one, keep smiling, keep healing, and keep thriving, because there is nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.